A Raw event has been cancelled due to the COVID variant. Plus, more details on AEW Battle of the Belts. And is a SmackDown Tag Team splitting up soon? It's all in the wrestling news right now. The joy of another weirdly tense Christmas period thanks to the COVID-19 seemingly never-ending pandemic, hence why Jack and I are once again several postcodes away, hence why Jack is lit like Dracula once again in a news video in his home. I kind of hoped that we'd be in the office forever at this point, Jack, but this is the nature of the world right now, isn't it?
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens next year. Can't wait to find out. It's a fun game, isn't it? It's fun.
It's a fun old game. Everybody's dealing with it in different ways. The Quebec government in Canada have officially ordered a shutdown in Quebec. This is due to the rise in cases of the COVID-19 Omicron variant. Now, this shutdown includes all concert venues being shuttered and professional sports being played without spectators. Now, Quebec is set to host a WWE event with the Raw brand on the 30th of December. It's meant to happen at the Place Bell Arena. It looks inevitable. At time of recording, this event hasn't been officially cancelled, but if every sporting event is being played in front of no spectators and the venues are being shuttered, it is inevitable that this will be cancelled as well.
It as things stand, then it will be cancelled surely, unless they pull another mad Florida situation. But I don't know how likely that is. I think realistically, as this stands, yeah, we're seeing the first in what could be multiple cancellations of WWE events once again. It's all repeating itself, Tom. Time's a flat circle.
It certainly is. And however, I mean, this is a shutdown that seemingly only affects Quebec at time of recording. Yes. You know, this is a moving beast, and the whole world could be on fire by the time you watch this. But WWE is slated to run Toronto next week. Tickets for that show still currently on sale at time of recording this. So it's that could be a thing that still goes ahead.
It could potentially, yeah, I suppose so.
We haven't heard anything that says otherwise about the Toronto show. Your best bet would be to check with the arena and with WWE's Twitter and stuff. They'll announce more when they know more. But it certainly looks like the show in Quebec is going to be off at the time of recording. But again, more details can be found online as you get it. Heading over to the AEW side of things, Battle of the Belts is coming up. I'm up for Battle of the Belts. It kind of feels like the old Saturday night's main event sort of specials, doesn't it, Jack?
Yeah, and AEW often take influence from old school elements of wrestling, and I think generally they do them pretty well. They do justice to those old events, and this could be another fun example.
Tony Khan on Culture State said, it's a 1 hour show. It's a 1 hour event. I can't put every belt on the line.
He can't. I can't put... I'm the one in charge. Just reminding everybody there.
I can't put every belt on the line. Bless him. What a hero. It's thanks for the check, by the way. It's a great chance on a Saturday night to expand the reach of AEW, giving the fans great championship matches on a Saturday night. There's going to be big championship matches, which I'm very excited about. I like the idea of a 60-minute show just completely packed to the rafters with title matches. I think that's nice. I mean, you could... So hang on. So there's the World Tag titles, the TNT title, the Women's title, the AEW title...
FTW, I suppose, if we're counting that. It could it could feasibly be put on the line.
It could feasibly put 4, but then by this point the TBS title will be a thing, so there's 5. So I guess you either cherry pick the belts that you're going to have on the show, or you put all of them on and you kind of shortchange all the matches. That's I
think he's approaching it in the right way for a 1 hour show by not putting every single one on the line and giving the matches time to breathe, and I think that's the right move. My thinking is though, one of them's got to be the AEW World Title, because it's Battle of the Belts. You can't not have a title match, surely, a world title match. But I don't know. I guess we'll wait.
It'd be weird to not have that.
Yeah,
show without Hangman Page defending his title again. Just have it. Just announce the world title match. Announce all the title matches, but have the world title match go on first. It's Hangman Page and Bryan Danielson again, and they just do the whole hour.
Just do the whole show again.
Battle of the Belt.
Okay,
just the one.
It's occasionally cut into people backstage oh, come on, guys.
Yeah, looking at their watch and going, I've got an Uber in 5 minutes.
Sammy Guevara's pacing impatiently. Come on. I need to get out there and flip.
I've got to do my flips. Gosh darn it. Davey Richards was on Vicky Guerrero's podcast. The American Wolves, a tag team that I fear is lost in the annals of time a little bit because they were brilliant.
Yes, and even going back to their time in Ring of Honor, they were kind of part of arguably the last great era of Ring of Honor in sort of the early 2010s. Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards running around having casual 5-star matches and that sort of thing. Yeah, Davey Richards is a very, very talented wrestler indeed.
And he was speaking to Vicky Guerrero on her podcast, saying he announced he'd been offered a WWE contract. He says, quote, "I've been offered a WWE contract 3 times now. AEW reached out too. He said, I'm a father, so being on the road that much is difficult for me. Plus, for me, I find in my time in Impact, which was great, they treated me very well." And he focused about, he found out while he was at Impact Wrestling that he hates TV wrestling. So he said, "I hate wrestling for 5 minutes. I don't like to wrestle for less than 15 minutes. It's just not me. It's not my style. There's nothing wrong with people who do it and do it very well. Obviously, that's where the money is. All the respect in the world, but that's just not me. I like to get in there and tell stories and things like that. To do that, you can't really go to a big company and be like, I'm here to wrestle for 15 minutes every night. Sounds good. See you later. With MLW, I'm given a lot of creative control to just go out there and wrestle for 15 to 20 minutes. So wrestling, I think, is the key thing for Davey Richards, which is probably why, and I say this with the greatest respect in the world, why he didn't go to WWE. Because there's less of all the things that WWE focus on, of all those initials in WWE, the middle W takes less precedence over the E. And even the first W to an extent. So I guess that's why Davey Richards wouldn't want to go there.
Yes, and I think it's quite a timely reminder that no matter how much we like to fantasy book things in our minds, and we're all guilty of it, and you know, share our opinions on Twitter, you know, these are real people and they've got real circumstances that'll dictate for them what the best move is for them. Like with Kevin Owens most recently, everybody, including myself, thought he was destined for AEW and thought it all just made sense. It all fit into place. But then, you know, it's been pointed out since by Owens himself, I believe, as well. Like, he's a family man. He'd rather have security at this stage in his life, and why not? You know, that's what's best for him. And I think in a slightly different way, this is what's best for Davey Richards. He'd rather not be on the road as much, and also just from his own personal creative standpoint, he prefers wrestling in longer, more indie style matches.
From a tag team wrestler that prefers the middle W to a tag team wrestler that's very prominent at the final E. A former WWE Tag Team Champion is planning a comeback next year. Who are we talking about, Jack?
It's obviously Mikey from the Spirit Squad.
Mikey!
Yes, former WWE and Ring of Honor star Mike Mondo, or Mikey of the Spirit Squad, is indeed working towards a full-time comeback to wrestling in 2022. Exciting times for fans of him. Was Mike, now I'm not sure how easily this answer will come to you. You might know it straight away. Was Mikey one of the ones they brought back to feud with Ziggler when he was in his feud with The Miz?
Yes.
One of them was Kenny, wasn't it? One of them was Kenny Dykstra, maybe?
I'm going to look up. See, yesterday, I got a bit of grief yesterday because I half-heartedly looked something up and got it wrong.
Okay.
By the way, Freddie Prinze Jr. was Fred in the Scooby-Doo movie. He wasn't Shaggy. I know. I made that mistake as much as anybody else. So what I'm going to do, whilst everybody's here watching the news, I'm going to look up via our wonderful friends who put together cagematch.net. Whoever does cagematch.net, you are genuine saviors of the wrestling world. Yeah. Because I feel like I often refer to Cage Match for stuff.
What a resource it is.
It is a solid resource.
I feel like...
Yes.
Oh, God.
The answer is yes. Kenny and Mikey,
Mikey?
were brought back as the Spirit Squad. They teamed with The Miz for a little bit on SmackDown. They had a tag team title match against Heath Slater and Rhino back in simpler times.
Well, fair play to Mikey then, because he's already dipped his toe in the water, I suppose. Although that would have been like 5 years ago now. Wow.
2016. Oh
my word! I remember watching that. I was working in wrestling at this point. Oh dear me, that's made me feel old. But no, I'm excited for Mikey. I wonder where he'll end up. I wonder if he'll want to focus more on the kind of the indie or Ring of Honor side, or try and break back into the more WWE entertainment side. I suspect. Go on, sorry.
I can see wrestling maybe. More wrestling stuff than entertaining stuff.
I think so as well. I wonder what Kenny's up to. because he was always the leader, wasn't he? He was the one everyone thought would break out rather than Nikki.
Kenny's back in WWE now because Kenny's been working as a producer.
Of course,
He's back
yes.
in the mix there now. He's only, hey, do you know what? Kenny's a young guy, like, to be at a point where he's done so much in his career, and now he's working backstage as a producer. Like, he's accomplished a lot as Dykstra.
Yeah, he's still pretty young, and he was young. He was really young back then, which I don't think we really understood as much. But I'm glad for Mikey, and hopefully it all goes well for him.
SmackDown Tag Team news final, Lamont, because WWE love when a tag team splits up. Let's break up yet another one. WrestlingNews.co and multiple other sources reporting that Madcap Moss and Happy Corbin are on the road to Splitsville.
No, don't do this to me. I've just started to get it. I've just started to get why it's funny. I've just started to love Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss as a duo. It all clicked for me in a recent segment where they were talking about, it was before Jeff Hardy was released, obviously, but they were talking about Jeff Hardy, and they said, "What Madcap Moss went? What do you call Jeff Hardy if he was a woman with a child?" And Corbin goes, "What?" And he goes, "A swanton mom." And Corbin, he can't.
That's good.
Corbin can't stay in his seat. He's off. He gets up. He can't handle it. He's like, "Oh no, it's too much." The comedy's too much for him. He'd love my Noah gag. He'd love my Noah gag. Tom, you're frozen for me. You're just frozen in laughter. No. You're just frozen in laughter at the joke.
I think my wonderful freeze might be the perfect place to end the wrestling news because I don't know if my camera will come back in time.
Okay, well, apparently yes.
Sign off for us, Jack.
No, I'm just gonna. Apparently yes. WrestlingNews.co is saying that they could be splitting up soon with Moss going face. I will sign off. Tom's just so frozen in mirth there. It's wonderful to see.
It's the shock of the joke. It's left me murphing. Leave that in. Leave that in the edit. It's fine.
Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Do stay tuned for all the wonderful content you can expect from Cultaholic over the festive period. And have a wonderful festive period yourselves. I've been Jack, and this is Tom, signing off.
Love you, bye.
Love you, bye. And we'll see you very soon.